Hello everybody, it's Toy Reaper here and welcome back. Today is going to be a little bit of a tutorial video, but really we're going to be just talking about this guy right behind me here. We're going to be going over the comparator, we're going to be going over what it does, how to use it, how it does what it does, and then just some of the most popular uses for it. I've seen a lot of people asking questions about comparators, what you use them for, how, what they actually do. So we're going to go into some of the things that I use them for the most, and just explaining to you what it is these little tricky things do. Alright, so the most simple part of it is it does just what the name says. It is a comparator. It compares signal strength. So this one here is going to compare the signal strength coming in from behind it to what is coming in from the side. If the one coming in from behind it is stronger, then it will send an output this way. So if we throw something in this hopper right here, we can see this gets a signal strength of 3 coming out because that's what the weight is inside the hopper. Now over here at this hopper, if it is equal to it, then the signal strength will stay there. If the signal strength over here is larger than this side, the comparator will turn off. So if we throw one sword in here, it's still on. But if we throw another sword in here, that's going to turn off because now this has a higher signal strength than what the one in the back does, because for 2 swords it's a signal strength of 6. Now here is if you've noticed this little button on the front here, when that is lit up, that is called subtract mode. Now since it's comparing the side to what's behind it, with 2 swords each one has a signal strength of 3. So you've got 3 for the first one, 3 for the second one. So now that it is in subtract mode, if I throw a sword in over here, it's going to subtract that signal strength from this side. So it should bring it down to a 3. So let's throw a sword in right there. You can see it brings it down to a 3. So this works regardless of what kind of input you have. If instead of a hopper back here, we had just for an example, a redstone torch, it puts out a redstone signal strength of 15. So if we put it right behind it, it goes all the way to 15. If we move it back to here, this redstone has a signal strength of 15. The next one will have a signal strength of 14. You can see right here that that's exactly what it has. So now since that's in subtract mode, that's 15, 14. If we get one here, that goes, let's put it right here. So that's going to be 15, 14. So this will be 13. This is 14. So it should only have one light left on. Just like that. So that's the general idea of what they are actually doing. And since this side has less, if we turn it off subtract mode, this will just have the normal signal strength of what it's supposed to have. This is the general idea of how comparators work. Now let's get into some different ways that you can use them. One thing you can do is a target block puts out a redstone output depending on where you hit on the target. So if you use it in subtract mode, or not even just that, just have something over here. This setup right here means the only way that this will have any sort of an output is if you shoot directly in the bullseye. If you watch, if I shoot over here, nothing happens. If I shoot right in the center, we get full signal strength. But even if I shoot right next to it, absolutely nothing happens. So that's something that can be useful, especially cool to use with target blocks if you're looking to do a minigame or something. My favorite use for it is wireless redstone. So this right here would be your output. And then say you have a stand that you're standing up in the sky somewhere and you want to be able to activate that down there, but you don't want to have your redstone tower just going through. Here's what we're going to do. If we pull this block back right here, you see that redstone line comes on. Now the same thing, the daylight sensors, they give out a signal strength based on the time of day that it is. So these right here are both registering the daylight, so sun. So they're going to have an equal signal strength. So this one here will always be able to send out power. So by putting a block anywhere above this one, at any height, it reduces the signal strength of this comparator here. So this one has a higher signal strength, causing this to turn off. So anywhere up in the sky, if you get a block, you push it over that comparator will turn down. So this is essentially vertical going downwards wireless redstone. But let's move on to our next thing. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. Using the subtract mode, you can make a pretty quick redstone clock here. And that is simply because right now you've got a signal strength of 15 coming out the front. This is 14, this is 13. So right now 13 is lower than 15, so it stays turned on. Now if you turn this into subtract mode, you're going to have the 15 coming in from the back with 13 in the side subtracted from it. So it's only going to have an output of 2. So it's going to go 1, 2. Which then means this is not powered, allowing this comparator to turn on full strength again and go back around. Every redstone tick, it's going to update back and forth from 15 to 2. 15 to 2. So right now it's turned on. We turn it into subtract mode. You can see it keeps turning on and off really fast, every redstone tick. So that is how that clock works, why it works the way that it does. Now here, what we have is a pulse extender. Once again, because of the way these comparators work, they do have a delay to them. So the way this works is when you power this right here, it's going to have a signal strength of 15. So this comparator is going to output 15, drop down 1 to 14. This is going to put out 14 right here. So then you've got 14, 13, 13, 13, 12, 12, 12, 12, 11. So each redstone tick, it goes down by 1 until finally it doesn't have enough power. But just to show you the difference between a regular button and a comparator here, press this button. That side's already gone off, that side's still on, counting down. Now, if you had this same setup without these two pieces of redstone, since it's powering this block, this redstone here gets whatever signal strength that it's putting into it because it's hard powered. So if you had the same thing on both sides like this, this is going to get a signal strength of 15, 15. This is going to output 15. It's still going to have 15, and it's going to keep going around. So it will turn on, and it will stay on forever. It is a T flip-flop. Except, not really. It's a RS newell latch. Because once you turn it on from over here, this button does not do anything. It just stays on. The only way to be able to turn this off would be to move one of these two blocks. So if you had a piston on the other side to move this block out of the way, that turns everything off because the signal comes here and then it stops. So it has nothing coming back into the comparator again. But that's just a cool, simple RS newell latch that you can use to have it to where something's activated from one place and you can only turn it off again from somewhere else. Now let's get into something a little more complicated. This is called a Redcoder, and I have done this before with my Redstone randomizer. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. But it basically takes whatever signal strength you put in and it gives you a single output based on what the signal strength is. So here we've got this target block again, and depending on where I hit it, only one redstone torch will turn on. And you can do the same thing if you have a chest or a shulker box or something, whatever you're using to send the signal strength into this comparator. But again, you can use this for a minigame or something. If we shoot this target block, right there. That was about a 13. And then we shoot one over here to the side, right there on 5. But that is because of this comparator right here. If it gets a signal strength of 2, that goes 1, 2. This back row of redstone here powers these repeaters, it turns off the redstone torch. When this redstone torch gets turned off, it allows this one to turn on. That's with a signal strength of 1. Now once it goes up to 2, This one gets powered, this one gets powered. When this one here gets powered, this repeater here will also turn off this torch again. But then it's moved on to 2 here, so the bottom torch gets unpowered, allows this one to turn on, and it doesn't get turned off because this would be 1, 2, it'd have to be 3 to get up here. So that's how that works. This is a really cool little design here, a lot of fun, a lot of different things you can do with it. And then finally, for comparators, the most commonly used thing is for an item sorter. And the way this works is you've got your hopper being locked because it's powered here. The comparator is reading what's in this hopper. Now nothing can go down because the bottom hopper is locked, but if one more item goes in there, right now it has 45 items in it, which gives it a signal strength of 2. If one more item goes in there, it gives it a signal strength of 3, turning off this redstone torch, allowing items to go down until it gets back down to a signal strength of 2 again. But since this hopper is filled like it is, the only thing that could go in there is whatever you're using as your filter, and then your item that you're actually sorting. So if we threw in all these items, the diamond will go in, it'll get dropped down, everything else will wind up down here, and the diamonds are right there. Let me go ahead and throw all of these in there. Now as you can see, when these go in there, that redstone torch turns off, this is powered. As soon as that gets back down to 41, this redstone will get unpowered again. Redstone torch comes back on, locks the hopper, you're back to 41 items again. So this is your general idea of how the comparator works, what it does, subtract mode, its normal functions, some ways to use it. If you have any more questions, make sure to leave a comment down below. I will be answering any questions you have. Do not mind doing a follow-up video if you need anything else explained. So if this video helps you out, please be sure to leave a like on it. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. Let me know down in the comments what else you want to learn, what else I can show you, and I'll be happy to do it. But until next time, have a good one, and goodbye.